This is part of the second part of the Conscious Moment video blog. What we're going to be talking about here are the tools that you would maybe begin to learn to apply as you go throughout your day to become very much more conscious and aware without allowing that subconscious or the unconscious to cause a lot of conflict in your life. So the first thing you want to do, remember we talked in video blog 1, is the awareness or attending, taking notice when you are in a reactive space with a person, situation, event, or even an object, so that you begin to glean a little bit of that insight into the subconscious and then begin to explore what is that reactivity all about. What is the quality of my relationship? Is it bringing up that anger? Or is it bringing up fear and anxiety? Then, of course, what we're going to be talking about here is the second thing, which is the acceptance. And this is a very important piece. And this is actually a piece that I think most people don't really explore when they're delving into consciousness study. This involves really coming into being very open to the experience. So, for example, when we were using the example of the critical boss, you begin to say, all right, my boss, I'm having this difficulty, or I'm having this strong reactivity to criticism. What is that all about? And what you can begin to do is through a technique that I do of centering, using the heart center centering technique, that you can go into the heart center, which begins to stabilize the mind, the ego, so that you can then go into the vulnerability of that experience. And so then you would actually go in and experience the being criticized. And by experiencing that criticism from the heart center with the energy vibration of compassion, then one can begin to break through the illusion of the authority being very critical of you when it isn't holding any meaning or isn't warranted. And then that process of just being open and breaking through to see through that illusion of that experience begins to totally shift the experience. So then what you begin to notice is that when your boss is being very critical of you, you're pretty stable with it. I mean, you're not taking on the criticism. And sometimes what happens in that process is that you begin to see what's underlying your boss's criticism, that maybe they are insecure, and you know and understand what it feels like to be insecure because you have sat with insecurity in your own process, so that you can be very present, and it begins just to drop away at that point. Sometimes with the other person, in this case your boss, all of a sudden the criticism begins to drop away because you're not engaging it at that level anymore. So we're just recapping over the tools to begin to use throughout your day in order to bring in that deeper sense of consciousness as you move through your day. The first one being attending or awareness of when you are in a reactive space. And then the second one is taking that reactivity or that situation, that image, and bringing it into this very centered process of working with it with compassion, so that you can, begin to open and come approaching the situation with an open mind and a very stable ego that can begin to allow that transformation to occur in the relationship, whether it's with another person, situation, event,